Hello, I'm Rick Joyner. This is a special video bulletin on current events, and one of the major issues we're facing as a nation, as the church, is this national health care bill that has been submitted before Congress. And you probably, almost everybody it seems, may have by now received that first bulletin we put out on national health scare. And I used a brief in that from the Liberty Council that was sent to me. At the time I was on vacation outside of the, just barely in range of the being able to get online, and it was slower than dial-up. I mean, I didn't have a chance to look at the bill myself. I've been reading the bill myself as much as I could, the health care bill. And I think there were some exaggerations and overstatements in that brief that went out. That's why we took it off of our website and said, wait a minute, we need to do this. And Matt Staver, head of the Liberty Council, that was done quickly. It was under the pressure of everybody thinking they're going to vote on this bill in 3 days. We've got to get the word out. The reporter who did the investigation on the bill, who wrote that brief, everybody was under incredible time pressure. Well, we've got just a little bit more time now. Matt Staver is working on this himself. He is not only a top lawyer, he's the dean of a great law school at Liberty University, and he wanted to investigate this himself, and we're going to be distributing that just as soon as we get that from him, and really appreciate the interest that has been kicked off in this. This really is one of the most dangerous situations, I believe, in our nation's history in a whole number of ways that we want to talk about. I'm going to be doing a number of these video bulletins, and we want to talk about some things in depth. We want to become knowledgeable. Every Christian should have understanding of these issues. We're called to be the light of the world. We're called to be the salt of the earth. I so appreciate the way Christians, the way believers are getting engaged in some of these ultimate issues, because it will affect us. It will affect our families. It will affect our families for generations, possibly, if the Lord tarries. We have a responsibility here. Now, one thing I want to do is, if you've followed much of my writings and all, I have hammered lawyers pretty good. I think we have entered into a legalistic society where, there are just so many layers of paperwork, so many layers of regulations and everything else that are demanded now. It is strangling our nation. I think legalese really is the language of Babylon, the language of confusion. We should absolutely insist from our lawyers clear language. And I've had lawyers give me contracts that were 20 or 24 pages long and say, I won't sign anything like that. Give me a page, give me 2 pages, or give me 4 pages if I thought that was appropriate. They would come back with that written in clear English that I could understand. Why don't they do that up front? Why not do it? Why submit a bill over 1,000 pages and then give Congress 3 or 4 days to try to pass it? Doesn't make any sense. Nobody would do that in their right mind. Now, I really believe our government is not in its right mind right now. We need to pray like we never have for our government, for our government leaders. There's a spiritual and intellectual drunkenness going on in our government. And what is the cause of this? What is this maddening rush to pass things before anyone gets a chance to read it? When President Obama, that was one of his basic campaign promises, that he would not sign a bill that had not been posted on the internet so everybody could read it. Give several days for everybody to read it. Now, he said he wouldn't sign a bill that didn't have that kind of sunlight, and then he tries to cram through, and already has crammed through major legislation that is changing the basic fabric of our nation without even giving those who are voting for it the time to read it. Now, the first thing they teach you in law school is you read every contract you sign. You read anything you put your signature on. How much more should they be reading? Should they be held responsible to read and understand any law they pass? We need to hold them accountable. I tell you, I pray that every Christian we're circulating the numbers, the phone numbers of your congressman, every congressman in the nation from your district. Call your congressman. I would do it every day. This is that important. The impact on you, the negative impact on you can be that would have been a very inexpensive use of your time if we can help stop some of this stuff. Now, our healthcare system, let's look at the healthcare system, look at the issue. We do have the best healthcare in the world. We have the best healthcare system in the world. No question about it. I've traveled all over the world. There is nowhere that it is better, but it does need fixing. It does have some major problems. There's no question about that. And I personally don't believe there's any reason why every single American should not have access to quality health care and should not go bankrupt to get it. This is something that can be done. Now, I believe that even though I do think that this particular bill, the whole mentality with which they're going, the actual bill that comes out gets changed and rechanged and everything. This can be a long ways from this, especially from the pressure that congressmen and senators are receiving right now from their constituents. But we know it's not going to come out in exactly this way, but just the most basic way that they're going about it, I think, is something that really needs to be challenged. And is the government capable of managing something of this magnitude? I think right away that should scare us very badly. Now, let's just take the, clunkers for cash program. Everybody loved it who wanted a new car. It was great. Now look how it has created such problems. In my opinion, the government has not been able to run a simple program like that without it just becoming so entangled, such a mess. We have dealers they're on the news all the time now that just can't even get through the paperwork of this thing. Great idea, just very poorly managed. This is the culture of management in government. The red tape is unbelievable. Our government right now is so inefficient, so ineffective because some fundamental bad management problems that just about anything the government touches is going to be about 1/10 as efficient as it could be. Now, I know a lot of doctors, I've tried to talk to a number of them just since this became an issue. Most of them I talked to said there's no way they could function on it. They said they can barely go to work every day and face the paperwork and the maddening regulations and all they have now. They said this would make it impossible. But let's just say all of them say, well, we're going to continue to be doctors, nurses, and all, even though I think we will lose a huge number of them that will just go do something else. And that's true. That's happening already. Many of them are quitting practice because they can't afford malpractice insurance. But they said this is just not going to be possible. Okay, if you have a medical problem, do you want a disgruntled doctor working on you? A disgruntled nurse? Right now, the way government people, 5 o'clock, they can have hundreds of people. They don't care about 5 o'clock, we're shutting this window, we're going home. Think about the best experience you ever had with a bureaucrat. Not the worst, think about the best. And is that what you want to, when you've got a serious health problem, is that what you want to be faced with? And we're talking about government bureaucracy running our healthcare system. Now, there's some things that need fixing. There's some things that are badly wrong and need changing in the system. But I don't think the government is the answer. I don't think the way they're running anything. And are they telling us the truth? That's another issue we're going to need to talk about. Truth, accuracy. What are they really going to do when they get the authority, when they get this thing through? What are they going to do? What does this open the door for them to actually do? So you don't want to miss this next special bulletin. We're going to go deeper and deeper into some concrete issues here. Thank you.